Hi guys, and welcome back to Koi Fish Johnny. Jesus Christ, is it hot? Okay, as you can see there behind me, I've taken some preventative measures, but I'm going to take further preventative measures today to ensure the fish is optimal safety in this bizarrely strange heat wave that we've got. I mean, it's like 38 degrees in Manchester. Manchester has never seen 38 degrees in its life. Okay, so back onto it. We're going to show you what I've done with the pond to try and get it covered up as much as I could. The aeration is on maximum there, pumping through, which is sufficient. I've got two extra air balls in the back, but I haven't seen anything to suggest the fish need more oxygen or anything like that. Okay, so let's walk over to the Brolley. The Brolley, as you'll see in a second, it was perfect yesterday because it wasn't windy, but today it's a little tiny bit windy, not massively, like to make it feel comfortable in heat, but it's got a little bit of a gust to it. So it's just taken the Brolley out and thrown it in the pond. So what I've had to do is just set up a little temporary measure here. If we have a look here, just walk around, you can see these bricks here that I've got holes in. So I've just banged in the side part there of the big Brolley, and then wedged it at the back, because the Brolley stand must be 2 meters long, because the pond's 1.8. We've got a diagonal on it, and we've got a brick here that doesn't look particularly secure, but it's just to try and hold it there. See, you can feel that, can you hear that or see that? Bit of breeze there. I don't know whether it's going to kick it into the pond. Jesus, is this making me nervous. I'm not one of them people that complain when it's too cold and then complain when it's too hot. I love the sun, but this is, Jesus, is it excessive. Okay, so the other idea I've come up with, which I'd like to say, I was sat there pondering like a thinking man, thinking, oh, how can I improve the pond water for the fish during this extreme time? I know what, I'll create some shade within the pond by using clay. That wasn't what happened. It was more like that little Einstein Jamie from Keeping It Koi dropped me a direct message and said, John, get your fucking now. If you've got clay in, get that fucking in now, because it will help the koi from sunburn. Which, oh my god, which I honestly didn't think was a thing. I thought the fish just become more bright in the sun, but obviously I think if it's excessive, the sun can get burnt. If Jamie's saying it, I'm believing it. I've seen it on some Facebook things, but on the Facebook things you can't believe a bloody thing they say on there. On YouTube we've got some banging people in this community that know what they're talking about, that help in times like this. Okay, so what we've got is the Brolley set up, and the other defense mechanism against this sun is fock. And if you're in a handful like me, you just rip it open at the back and then have a problem sealing it up later. Stupid mistake. Should have got scissors, was too lazy, panicked. Anyway, back to this. Andy, Koi Pond Lifestyle, another name drop, amazing bloke, went out of his way to message me and get me the instructions over in the best way. He's a top bloke, and another example of what this shining community can do for the people that are new to the hobby, that enjoying the koi. So Andy sent me over the instructions, fortunately, because I didn't do Japanese at school. But 10 ton of water, which works out at, I think it's 2,200 gallons. You need 50 grams as standard. You can go up to 120 grams for that, but that's only, so it's making me really nervous with that Brolley in the wind when it picks up. So if you hear my heart rate change or my tone change or me looking over to the side, it's because I'm looking at that giant thing and the wind blowing around. Okay, so back to it. 2,200 gallons is 50 grams as standard, 120 grams max if the fish are poorly. Okay, our fish ain't poorly, they just need some sun cream on. So we're going to be banging that sun cream on with the fock. So now I've thrown it all on the floor, see what I mean? Okay guys, so I'm inside now because the camera doesn't even like the heat. It overheated, it cut out randomly then, stopped me video mid-flow. So I'm staying inside where it's a little bit cooler, and we're just going to look outside at what I've done. You can see the bucket's empty there at the back. So I've mixed up the fock, I scooped up a little bit off the floor because I'm really tight like that, and chucked it in because then it just increased it a little bit. Which sort of defies the logic of measuring it out in the first place. But then again, with it being 55 grams, it probably took it to 60 grams, which is well within the catchment area. To be honest, probably on the low end. Okay, so I'll quickly talk to you about that, which is if we walk over to the pond here from the inside view, you can see after my long fight against the green machine of having green pond water, I am now back to having cloudy pond water, which to be honest is gutting, but I'm going to call it, did you see that? Did you see that wind? Wow. I'm going to call it factor fock. So I'll put the pond stuff in there to fock my pond for basically sun cream for the fish, to stop the fish getting burnt in this extreme weather, as well as the beneficial minerals that go in and help the fish, improve the appetite, basically improve everything to do with the water quality for the koi to thrive in this at this time of year. But it's doing an additional purpose which it isn't normally used for, being factor fock. Like I said, I would love to be that person that just sat there and thought, do you know what would do really well to block some of these sun rays coming down to the fish, stop them getting burnt? I'll add some cloudiness to my water. That wasn't the case. Jamie, Keeping It Koi, sorted me out, top bulk. The water's back cloudy, but the fish are safer. As you can see, I've set up my little contraption here. I don't know whether I'm better moving myself out of the way. In fact, I will. I'm just going to show you what I've set up. Because it's windy, like you've just seen there, the wind is just scooping the Brolley and throwing it around. So I've come up with this clever little brick system, because the bricks have got holes in them. Anyway, I'm waffling, so I'm going to go to the back of the camera, show you the front. Okay guys, so if we look here, you can see what I've done. At the back here, I've got each prong of the big Brolley within the 2 grey anthracite bricks that were left over from the builders, and then stabilised with additional weights around the sides to keep the Brolley prongs in place, which, as you can see, is doing a great job. Like I say, this isn't an emergency procedure. This isn't like perfect. This is what I've got, what I can use, and how I've best covered my pond. Okay. And then we're going to go to the back here. You can see one thing I was worried about is the bottom part of the pole smashing against the window with some velocity and breaking the window. So what I've done is I've stacked up them chairs there to prevent it going in that direction, or hopefully prevent it going in that direction. And then we've got a brick. The bottom of the Brolley is placed through the brick to just keep it weighted, like anchored down. Obviously it'll allow for a little bit of movement because it's only a single brick against the wind, but mainly it's this side that's holding it down. And also the fact it's sheltered my garden from quite a bit of wind around like that, just exposed on this side a little bit. Okay, which makes it worse because this exposed side into the Brolley. But anyway, it's working quite well. Look at it there jumping around, but it's got flexibility within the setup to allow it to do that. So it can rotate back a little bit, but the brick anchors it back down and pulls it back down into the optimal position to block it for the sunlight at the minute, which is, one second, this might be nasty, is up there. Okay, within the next hour and a half it will dart behind this massive tree here. Okay, it doesn't do it justice on this camera, but that is a huge tree. Okay, you can see the Brolley there making some moves, but we can see the anchor holding it back. So within an hour and a half, it'll be behind there. And then what will happen later on is the sun comes out from the back. I'm going to have to go around on the knee again. So the sun will come out about here, and then it'll head off to set down there. So when it does that, I put the Brolley at the back, resting it on top of the nexus, diagonally with the brick on this side. Okay, because obviously I can't just stabilise it in the middle of the pond. Alternatively, I could have put the actual Brolley into the pond, but the contamination maybe off the Brolley, not good for banging around for the fish. The erosion on the Brolley itself, you can see, look. Okay guys, so in addition to what I've just said, I've also realised I haven't put the additional air stones in today. The air is pumping massively here, but I've just put additionally 2 air stones from there, sat right at the back. More doesn't hurt, but not enough does. Popped a bit of food in there as well, so you can see what the fock has done, factor fock, to the water, made it all cloudy. Bad view, good for fish. So happy days. Anyway, I'm waffling on about that, but I am actually quite proud of this makeshift Brolley system to stop the sun getting to the pond. Like I say, it's covering, the whole pond is in the shade now due to the tree at the back. So the whole pond is in the shade most of the day, and with this contraption. And later on it'll be even further in the shade, and then it'll be even further in the shade when it comes out the back, and then when sun sets it won't be a problem. And then tomorrow is hopefully going to be a bit cooler, because I'm not one to complain, but this is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Sleeping downstairs with my 2 kids because it's too hot upstairs, and now putting Factor Fock on the fish and making an emergency cover system to prevent my koi from getting sunburnt, as well as the Factor Fock, which I actually love. Factor Fock is a cool thing. If I was to do anything, release any products in the world now, it would be sun cream called Factor Fock, because it's just so cool. Yeah, so anyway, that's a little bit of light-hearted fun. This is an extremely bizarre video, or an extremely unusual video, because we're fighting something that we haven't fought in Manchester for a long time, which is like unreal hot weather. I'm literally inside wearing a white vest. I've not wore a top all the time, but for you guys I thought I'd bang one on. Bang a white one on because it doesn't make you as hot as a black one. Curtains shut. I love the sun, but this is too much. This is too much. I will be glad when it passes. I'm probably going to upload this video when I get time, because I've got to prioritise looking after the kids, so it will be after all this is done, hopefully, and we haven't all melted. And the fish will be great. Oh, a little update on Morrison. I have been monitoring his, what do you call it, mouth rot on the side of his chin. I'm really impressed with myself and my wife for treating that koi, and it does seem to be deflating. It has gone like, before it was like a bulging red, like massive thing, and when we was treating it, it did have blood on it, on the cotton buds, that's what they're called. When we was cleaning the wound, it was red like that. It seems to be very well sealed now. It's like a white, and it seems to be calmer, it seems to be smaller, it's not as aggressive. His behaviour is perfect. So if you haven't seen that video, go and watch it, because it's interesting watching an idiot put something to sleep and pretend he's a vet. But no, seriously, it is quite a genuine raw insight into koi keeping and the things that you might have to do when you've got the koi, and what it's like as a first experience of actually sedating a koi. But it looks like my first one is going to be a success, as well as this contraption. Watch it blow into the wind. No, I'm only joking. Anyway, thank you for my new subscribers that come on board. Thank you for the loyal dudes that have been with me all the time. Thank you for watching. It's an absolute pleasure doing these videos. I love this hobby, and I love being part of this community. Super massive thank you to Koi Pond Lifestyle, Andy, you're a legend, and Jamie at Keeping It Koi for getting in touch and just being a solid, nice dude. So thanks guys, take care, please like, please subscribe, catch you next time, hopefully when it's cooler.